we are ready. Hello, everyone. Be welcome. My name is André Góis. I'm Rightback Sales Specialist, and I'll be taking you through this very special webinar. Our first webinar with a customer, and we couldn't start any better with Vanguard, one of the most respected investment management companies in the world. We decided to split this webinar in 3 moments. I have already started with the first one, which will be a brief introduction. And then we have a conversation and the opportunity to hear Vanguard experience with Rightback, the entire process from the first contacts until Vanguard make this feature available to their end users. And at the end, we'll have time for a Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to place them on the chat window so we can answer it. For those who see us for the first time or who are not familiar with our product, I also want to make a brief introduction of Rightback is. We all know Tableau. We all know that Tableau it's an amazing tool when it comes to making an analysis and it's a really great tool to enable everyone to see and understand your data. But sometimes we come across actionable process. End users are required to input data or to provide feedback. From our experience, the most common are the commenting and the replacing values use cases. And that's where Rightback comes in. Rightback, it's a Tableau extension that enables users to submit data directly from Tableau dashboards to your database. Long story short, this is the definition of Rightback extension, and all of this in your own infrastructure with an audit mechanism and much more enterprise-grade features. If this is not clear for you, as I said, place your questions in the chat. We also have a specific content about the product, like our previous product walkthrough webinars. That can be very interesting for those who are looking to understand in detail what Rightback is all about. So I think we can move for the most interesting part of this webinar. I'm pleased to introduce Andrew Igiggs, Senior Data Scientist at Vanguard. Hi, Andrew. It's a pleasure to have you here, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Andrew, as I said, I think we can start our conversation, and I know that everyone knows Vanguard. I have already made a little introduction, but I cannot start without asking you to tell us a little more about Vanguard, this huge company.
Yeah, so Vanguard's one of the largest asset managers in the world. A large portion of our operations are here in the United States, but global offices in Europe and Australia and Asia. So a global presence. For me specifically, I'm working in our risk group that oversees our investment management process, the portfolio management and trading of our mutual funds and ETFs. Overseeing it from a risk function, making sure there's proper controls in place, that things are operating efficiently, that we have proper risk tolerances within our funds, and so forth. So yeah, quite a large company, and then a lot of different things going on. But yeah, for me, more focused in the investment management piece.
Yeah, you guys are indeed an amazing company with a global presence. And talking about specific this Rightback process, do you remember what was the trigger for you internally to decide to look for a Rightback solution for Tableau?
Yeah, for us, it was we were heavily using Tableau for a lot of our risk analytics. So large volumes of data coming in that we have different models built off of, that were presenting different exception-based reports to our risk analysts across the business. So Tableau was always a great way to kind of use their dashboards and have our users be able to dive down into the data. So when a risk event would come up, they could easily research it and make risk informed decisions on what actions need to be taken, if any. The one problem we always had was that within these risk dashboards, you didn't have an efficient way for
Mhm.
our users to provide feedback. So there was often just a disconnect where it would be kind of doing their research, doing their analysis within a Tableau dashboard, but then ultimately would be exporting things to Excel, putting comments out there, and saving these Excel files. So quite an inefficient process that that we were trying to improve, not just from an efficiency standpoint, but also a lot of other benefits as well by using this.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's it's very clear that you had a right back use case, and it was causing a lot of troubles. Have you thought about developing in-house some right back solution? I ask this because there are several companies that decide to go this way.
We did consider it.
Mhm.
We have a relatively small IT support team that kind of stands behind us, and really we didn't have the expertise in building out that extension. We didn't want to have to maintain another product, given that's not our wasn't our specialty, and from our developer
Yeah.
standpoint. So for us, it made sense more once we came across right back to really pursue that as an option.
Mhm. Yeah, as you said, it depends a lot on the organization, but we have seen some process failing because this demands a lot of development effort, and at least at the beginning, you will have much less features. It could be a disappointment, and of course, if you don't have or you don't need a support team, but at least a team, but at least you need to have someone looking and maintaining or and ensure the Tableau compatibility of the extension. And of course, this is not easy. We really believe that the cost quality it's much higher by adopting an extension like ours. So yeah. And during this process, I believe you have done a lot of research and tested the solutions that exist in the market. However, how did you find us, and what are the main reason, or what were the main reason for you to move forward with our product?
Yeah, for us, initially came across it at one of the Tableau conferences that we were at, and,
Hmm.
and it really piqued our interest. As I said, we had a great use case for a product like this. So we kind of went down that path of working with the company to explore it a little bit further, to build out POCs and things like that. And really for us, as you mentioned, like the price point for what the value that we were getting from it really met our needs, within our company. And then from an implementation standpoint, so just the ease of use, once we had this in house, the ability to incorporate it into new dashboards was really easy for
Yeah.
us. So we continually add it to more dashboards, just because it takes a little time to keep setting this up and finding new ways to use it. So for us, yeah, mainly it's just very user friendly, kind of along the same lines as Tableau, where anyone can get in there and start using it pretty.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, totally, yeah, makes sense. So, and you identify the problem, and you identify the product to help you with, um, and going straight to the point, how did Rightback end up solving your needs, and what benefits can you identify with this implementation and product?
Yeah, for us, I think that the major use cases initially have been in some of these exception-based reports. So whether you have rules-based exceptions popping out, identifying different risks that may be occurring within our investment process, we present them out in the dashboard. And as users were not only I think having that inefficient process prior of kind of exporting things to Excel and things like that, there was also just a lack of consistency in what we were providing on those feedback results. So the one thing that we've seen is you know benefit number one. Obviously, we've saved hundreds of hours on each of these implementations. And then the second part of that really is that we now have kind of this rich data behind the scenes of what these risk analysts are inputting, so we can start to do trend analysis that we weren't able to do before. Looking at that from a standpoint of even improving our Tableau dashboards. Do we have a number of false exceptions, or do we have the proper logic in there, and then are we wasting our analysts time by continually presenting them with these false positives? So we can kind of use this as a little bit of a feedback loop as well to the individuals who are creating these dashboards and risk analytics, to take a look at what those users are inputting, trended over time, and then also see how is our risk profile changing as we move forward.
Mhm. Yeah, and I believe we already talked about this, and you say to me that you saved almost between 50 and 200 hours of time saving per dashboard each year. So it's huge. But
Yes.
the yeah, it's really huge. But the change in the process and the way that they become easier and more accurate seems to me to be as or more important than in the final result. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's unbelievable. Yeah, and when you think about the starting point and what you have done so far, have your expectation after almost two years have been reached, or you pursue to achieve more?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really met our expectations of what we were initially bringing it in for. And it's been easy to maintain, and like I said, it's easy to implement and on additional dashboards and kind of get that find more ways for efficiency gains. But I think what we also realized is that there's other things that we can do with it. Um, some of the things that we're doing is looking at different machine learning models and to identify anomalies in the data or in our trading process and things like that. And from our standpoint, we were looking to how we can efficiently or effectively get um, the outputs of these models into the hands of risk analysts who may not be super technical. So
Mhm.
Tableau was a great way for us to do that. But then what we were really lacking is the way for users to provide feedback. So now we're starting to explore the product and implement it in some of our machine learning POCs in order um, to present the outputs from the models and then allow our risk analysts to provide feedback. So it completes that feedback loop, and then it can go right back into that model as a new training data set. So we can improve accuracies of the model and kind of move some of those POCs along much faster, as part of that process.
Mhm. No, yeah, it's great to know that you have more use cases in your roadmap, and you think about using Writeback for not your actual use case. On our side, we can guarantee the commitment to keep improving the Writeback as we have done so far, and it's very cool to know that. And how has it been your experience with Redback usage? I know that you already talk about it, and the contact with our with our support team, and honest feedback.
Yeah, no, yeah, everything has been great so far. I'm sure like many other people, it's a large corporation. It's sometimes difficult to bring in new products and get through the different requirements that we have. But I think with the support, we were able to kind of jump through those hurdles pretty quickly and meet any necessary changes or things that we needed to Vanguard's perspective. So yeah, I think the team has been great in supporting it, and as I mentioned, it's been low intervention and
Yeah.
um, yeah the need for further support. Now that we
Mhm.
have it in there, and
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. And for us, it's very good to know that our guys have done an excellent job. At least we have that feedback from other customers too. So I think this means that our support team are working well, and of course it's always good to know that. Yeah, we are coming to an end of this conversation. I think we did this in a time record, but uh, I need to finish with this sharing. We have seen more and more companies start to see Tableau a huge potential to be a collaborative tool, not just an analytic tool. Having gone through this technological adoption and change of work processes, what advice do you have to share with other companies that are taking the same steps as you did?
yeah, as you mentioned, I think it's we found it's definitely a great Tableau is a great way to collaborate. We have as professionals across the globe and in Europe and Australia that we work with on a daily basis. So having that central location for analysts to kind of utilize has been really key, and kind of normalizing some of the feedback as well. As far as you know what what advice I think come in with an open mind and kind of brainstorm out some ideas, because where we first came in with more of that efficiency play, we quickly realized that there's a lot more that you can do with this tool, in combination with Tableau. So from enhancing dashboards and collecting feedback, and improving output to the machine learning that starting to implement as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can do with it if you have.
Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, and I think we couldn't have end any better. I totally agree with your advice. And well, thank you very much, Andrew, for this conversation. And we are now going to start the Q&A. We will share a survey about the event in the chat. I would ask you to fill in. Your feedback is very important for us. And as I said at the beginning, feel free to ask anything you want. Andrew and I are here to answer.